Hey everybody, it's your boy Max104 here, and today's video we're rebuilding Auckland with LEGOS. Yes, you heard that right, we're building Auckland, New Zealand. And this LEGO set is inspired by the Sydney set because of the way the base is built. So instead of bumping it backwards, we're shooting it outwards. So the front of it actually comes outwards so we can have more space in the front and we have less in the back. And we're skipping a little bit ahead just because I was building a building and I decided to get rid of it just because it didn't look good. So now we're here and we're working on the Sky Tower of Auckland. Which is really cool because you know me, I love my sky towers and all my skylines. They always make them look good. And this one is no exception. It's another basic, I don't want to say basic because all sky towers are special in their own way. But here we have a more upward straight design and a very interesting sort of top pod design I really like. And for this part, I wanted to start with this sort of like weird Technic design that I would later change just because reasons, but just because we'll just take a look at it and see how it went. So I wanted to use these Technic linkers and just kept putting them on each other so I could get the inside part to be this specific color, but then I realized it isn't the best technique. So I went in and wanted to use the other Technic design that I used for the Stratosphere build in the Las Vegas set that I did, and it is a lot easier actually. It's a lot easier. And here I use this long bar piece for the middle, and I put these rough edged Technic linker thingies, and I put these circular ones in the middle, and I just kept going up as far as the bar would go. And then I think I changed the height later, but we'll get to that when we do. And I think it looked pretty good because I liked using the rough design just because it added more texture to it, so it wasn't so soft and it didn't like look too rounded or smooth because it's kind of like a short, very rough outside design. So I like that. And now we started on the sky pod, which was the I wouldn't say more difficult part, but it wasn't easier. Because this one was a lot different than most other sky towers that I had seen before. So I had to make a very new, different, custom design. So we went with this first one here, which is this more thicker, bigger design that goes up more. It has more sort of layers on it. It's got the black in the middle, it's got that clear blue on the top. And then now we got to this big circular flat part. After we put a little radar dish underneath it, that's what I call them. And then we put another one of those, I guess. And then we grabbed our special Technic round piece that we will get in a moment, because I remember using it in a custom build before. That was actually really good. And I want to use a gear piece, because gear pieces actually looked pretty good for sky towers, because a while ago, I had made my own custom Seattle, and I had used this same piece, the gear, a big gear piece, because it makes it look good. And here's where I started to struggle on the piece, because it felt a little bit too short up there, so I had to change it out. But then I made it go down even shorter, just to make it not feel as small. It had to be wider, but they didn't have any wider sort of pieces. So after trying to fix that, it didn't really work too well. I sort of went back and revised the thing a little bit, and I had put a cone on the top there, but then got rid of it. And then I decided to scrap this design totally. Well, just the sky pod part, not the whole thing. Decided to change it up. And we just went straight with the cone piece at the bottom, and with the longer cone piece, just because it took up more space. We didn't have to put too many smaller ones together. After trying to put this one on there, but it doesn't like to cooperate for some reason, so it ended up also just not looking too good. So instead, we've gone with the different cone piece over on top of it instead, because it just looked better. And then we started to actually make the sky pod a lot better. So then we added the little black part up there, and then we grabbed I believe we were grabbing a bar. Yes, we grab a bar, and then a bar, and then we grabbed the same round Technic piece that we found earlier because it looks really good. And then on the top we add a little gear piece for some texture, and then we go and grab a different piece. Oh, that piece didn't fit. We had to go grab a dish, or no, little cone, grab a little cone, put the gear on top right there, and then put the cone on top of it again, and grab another bar, put the bar in the middle, make it go up, dish up, face up, and then grab another bar, a longer bar, so we can put that cool looking Lego piece on it, because I like using that one. And then we put it facing that way, and then we put the spire back on top, and boom, we basically got it done. Just do a little bit of coloring, and just like that, we have done it. And now is when I took a break from doing it, and we are now back to the second part. Now we're back to the second part, and we're here to move the sky tower over to the front bumped out part, because I felt like it, and I thought it looked cooler. After we begin constructing the AUCKLAND Center building. It's this rounded, weird, funky, strange building. I'm just gonna say that. And then on the top, it's got this round design, this cylinder, and it's got a little dome on top. The dome was a lot smaller in real life, but I wanted to try to use the piece for the joystick Lego figure thing that can be used for antennas, but I changed that later. And here is like a dark blue at the top, and then there's also gray, and then it's like this sort of black and dark tan design going up and down the whole thing, so go back and forth with the black and the tan, and just like that, it's done. And then we do what I just said with the little piece. We put the flat one with the grabber or whatever stud in the middle, and we grab that thing and put it on top. I thought it looked pretty good. And then we put one with an actual antenna part on it, and then here we move the sky tower over so we would have space to put the other building. And the bottom was really funky for the other building because it was a heart design, so I just grabbed the modified brick piece because of the way it was built, so it would go in either the holes or on the regular part, just like that, and boom, fit perfectly. Just color it in, make it the gray piece, and then put some streak around it. And the streak color that I use in most architecture sets is the dark gray piece. And in the Lego program, it looks almost like a dark tan, but it changes after rendering. There's also the main sort of streak color piece that looks really good. Then we, I think, are gonna work on the bridge here in a moment after we finish coloring in the street. Then we start working on the water part. So there's a couple Lego sets that have this, or that I'm aware of that I can think about right now. There's only one. It's the Las Vegas set, because in the middle of it, it has this blue, long stud piece, this long plate, for the fountain from the Bellagio. It's good for a water effect, because then if you see through the water, you see it's like a nice blue color. And then over here, the San Francisco inspired design, where we have this little mountain part, little edge over here, little hill on the other side of the, I think it's a river, or it's a really weird looking lake, because this part of New Zealand is kind of like broken apart. So it's kind of like a lake river thing. And then we start working on the bridge, add some details over here, move those over so it's elevated, so we put the water down, put the slanting pieces back on. Just like that. And then over here we're gonna put some little trees. Just make trees make things look nice and lush is a very good effect that we have when it comes to Lego architecture sets. First we gotta put this more little wood down there. And then over here we're going to build the other side where it ends, the bridge ends. Same sort of inverted slope piece. And then we're gonna put this long plate on the top because it's a 2-lane bridge. so it goes back and forth, so it's not a 1x1 bridge. So then we have the 2-lane bridge going over, more water. And then here we have the kind of bridge connectors in the middle where the bridge goes into the water, so it stays up and supported. And then grab a piece that I had seen before that I had forgotten where it was, so I had to remake it. And I think it looked pretty good. After it didn't look pretty good, change it and then put it back. That looked pretty good there, like holding it up. And then we're going to grab these more curved pieces, because there's this weird part in the middle that goes up. It's like elevated. And then down here we put some studs, I think, for gate effect. And then boom, basically the bridge is done, because there's not too much detail in it. There are some like street lights on the side going up, but those are too small to make in this scale. So instead we just finish it off, and then down here is the, I would say, difficult part. It's also not, but also is the making the bridge go back down to the regular spot. So all I had to do was just make this sort of slope design, make it go up, realized it did not fit, because I am not this smart. So instead we go back and fix it after I struggle to use brain capacity to fix it. So I just move it over a little bit, and then we put it down right here, and then we make it go down the side, down onto the street. And I thought, hey, that looks pretty good. And if you just finish it off, a little more brick down there, and bam, bridge basically done. Over here, it's got the water parts. Instead of using the 1x1, or not the 1x1, the 1x2 tile plates that LEGO uses for the water, I just went for some big ones, just so it didn't have to use too many pieces for it, just because it made it simpler. And here I am looking for something. Oh, I'm trying to find a knife piece because I want to put some little boats in. But I didn't find the right knife piece, and it didn't fit under the bridge. So instead, I just went for it, and then made my own little bridge design or boat design after putting some water down. Water obviously makes the bridge over water. And then after we finish putting down the water, we put our new boat design that I was thinking of right here. So we have 2 little boats, and they have these slanted 1x1 tile pieces that look very fancy. They look very, very cute little boats. And then now we're working on the Vero Centre. So it's this big building that looks really weird. It's like triangular, but it's also got these sort of like panels going up the side. So I found some ladder pieces for it. And here we would change the size because I made it too big. Oh no, I made it too small, I thought. So I made it bigger, realized it was too big. And then here I looked for some ladder pieces, and I didn't find the right one, but instead I found a different one, which is a lot better for it. And here I am using the bigger pieces, and later realizing that they were not the right size, but still, you get the idea. Triangles go up, and it's like square on the other side. So here we go. Get rid of it and grab some 4x4 plates and go up. Not as high as go down, and then here we have these ladder pieces. I like these ladder pieces because they actually made it look very fancy and very, very cool indeed. Because, I don't know, it just works. Sometimes you find the most weird LEGO piece that you've never seen before, and it turns out to be the best option. Over here I am trying to build triangle. It didn't work, so grab that one. It's too big, because, I don't know. Move it inward didn't help, so instead I got rid of these guys. These are too big, so then I grabbed, after building this, I went back, I believe, and I grabbed these smaller pieces, because these were too big. Connect the ladder pieces up, and then put the studs in the middle, whatever, grab it on the side, go around, all that, block it up, so you don't see through it, because that would be weird. And then we block it all off. Now we get rid of that because it's too big. And then we go down and grab a smaller piece because it fits a lot better. So here we are putting it down, and perfect. They look really good. So now we connect them all together. how we color it is this sort of dark blue color I really like, and the sort of panel things, I'm just gonna call it the ladders on the sides, are white. And then it's like a weird mixture of a dark blue and a dark gray, but there's more dark blue than dark gray, so we go by 2. So there's 2 dark blue and then 1 dark gray, and you keep going down the path. And then on the sides of the ladders it also didn't line up, but then I fixed it and it looks very well indeed. And then in the middle there's like this sort of little gray, light gray part that is kind of random, but you know, I like the little random pieces that they have in the middle. And at the top we have the light gray, and then it's this sort of sloped upper part. It's like slanted. It's like the circular thing is slanted, and it looks. Actually, we used this in a previous LEGO set. It was the Minneapolis one, where it went up and it like was round and it went over the top, and it was very interesting. It's on the building. And here we are putting it on a different building, and it's gonna have a brand new design just because the shape is a little bit different. So we're starting off with our first design, which is the triangular one, because why not? Let's try putting it on there. We use the the grab piece or whatever, and then the not grab piece or whatever it grabs onto, and then turn it so it's facing the middle. Grab the little Among Us Lego piece, and then that's like going to be the main person. We put it upside down on that thing so it faces outward, and then grab that other piece and then try to put it on top. Did not fit because I don't know physics or something. So I had to go back and change that. So I grabbed a new shape, which is the heart. I thought it looked pretty good actually. It was working really well. Trying to put it back on. Too much work. Trying to do this. I thought it looked really good here at the end. And then I had a sudden feeling that it was a little bit too high. And I put these little panels on it, but it felt like it was just too high up there. So I was like, if there's a way to make it lower, maybe I could. After coloring in the pieces, it looked a bit funky. Putting some smooth tiling on the top, because smooth tiling always looks very fancy, especially for roofs that are very smooth and streets. And here we're trying to and put the panel on top. And here we have a new piece entering the battle. We have circular circle with hole in the middle, which was going to be the final design. And then we grab it, whatever, put it on top like that. And then, because it's a lot simpler and it's a lot lower to the ground than the heart was, or not the ground, but to the top of the building. So then we had a much simpler way of making it. It looked a lot better. So we grab our fishing line, trying to make it the grabber piece. And then go back and change it from the grabber pieces into the modified studs middle. Or not, yeah, no, modified plate studs middle. Turn it, and then angle it. And that, I moved it back a little bit, but I couldn't move it back because the panels were in the way, so I had to get rid of the panels and then move it back. But that's fine, the panels didn't really need to be there. So I moved it back after angling it a little bit. Angle that, and then put it back on there, angle it again, make it go down, and perfect. Try to put the panels back on. Didn't fit, so instead I just went with some smooth tiles. Because they were very fancy and made it look better. And here we are putting this final smooth tiles on the top of it. And then again with the weird bottom part, we just put one of those tile things on it, move it over a little bit, and boom, it fits perfectly. Not perfect, I said perfect. There we go. And then we're gonna put some street around it. I noticed there was space for one more thing, but instead I just sort of put a little park there because this set was lacking some greenery in the city part. So over here, street around it. I put actually light gray street there just because it looked really good going across. And then over here, we are building a little park. And then I ended up changing it a little bit. And then one stud there, one stud there. Lovely little green trees with our brown stems, trunks. And then boom, little park. And then over here, I felt like it was missing something, so I decided to add some random little apartment buildings because there's some of those scattered around the city. So I thought it'd make sense to put a couple of them over here. So I made this one this sand red color. Over here, this orange tan color. This one is the light gray. And down here we have another little light gray one. And then we're using more slanted pieces or slope pieces with the dark blue top. And I thought it looked really good. It's little apartments down there. And over here, it's just the final part. It's just this little gray piece. Putting on the panels now. Because for the architecture part, because all the LEGO sets do that, make it black. And boom, we are done. And once again, turned out very well. I had very much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this city, because this was finally one that wasn't in the United States, because the last 3 have been. So you're welcome. We are now done Auckland, New Zealand. I thought it was pretty good. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let me know what city you want me to create next. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. Who knows? Actually, subscribe so you get notified when new videos are uploaded, new LEGO videos. I think the next one that I'm gonna make is probably gonna be Brisbane, Australia. Ooh, going to Australia. So yeah, leave a like if you comment or subscribe if you want to see that. And with all of that said, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.